So, guys, the Canadian immigration authorities are apparently investigating some Canadian permanent residents for inadmissibility and misrepresentation in their applications. Very recently, we came across, these specific cases where people have received Section 44(1) reports. These are approved permanent residents of Canada since last year, and suddenly, out of the blue, they receive these letters, which is talking about potential removal from Canada and their COPRs getting cancelled. Guys, these are serious situations, and we will be discussing all the details about these cases in this video today. So, if you are interested in moving to Canada, then you should be watching this video up until the end. My name is Sahil, and I'll see you on the other side. So, guys, welcome back once again. My name is Sahil, and I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant, and I practice here in Ontario. My office is here. If you have to get in touch with me, my number is on the screen, and the details are there in the description box. More than happy to speak with you. Before we proceed any further, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon because we talk a lot about Canadian immigration. And if you are an aspirant of moving to Canada, then this is a channel that you must be subscribed to all the time. So, guys, we are discussing the very important ongoing crisis of a situation for Canadian, so for approved Canadian permanent residents. Guys, apparently, IRCC, which is the Immigration Authority of Canada, has been sending out Section 44 reports to approved Canadian permanent residents. And this was brought to my attention by two separate individuals at two separate instances very recently, just about last week and about this week as well. And the persons in discussion received a Section 44 report, which clearly states that IRCC has found adverse information in your submitted permanent resident application. And they've named the situation as well, like they've named the employer, and they're saying that we have concerns, we've investigated and found concerns, and if you're not able to give us satisfactory explanations, then we will go ahead and cancel the COPR and issue a removal order. And obviously, then you can choose to follow your own procedures of appeals and whatsoever later. Now, first, I'll talk to you about what exactly is the content of the letter, what exactly are they seeking, and then what kind of potential information is under investigation. Because one of the persons whom I'm talking about was able to go back to the employers and check what happened. Okay, so I'm going to share the whole story with you. Now, the report basically has 2 or 3 pages, talks about what kind of an information, what kind of an issue did the officer find. In this case, the officer basically found an issue with the employees' overseas employment history, and clearly mentioned that we have serious concerns that this particular employment could be fraudulent. And behind that, there is a long questionnaire which would typically look at something like a HNC application. And it clearly says, it talks about what is your degree of establishment in Canada, how well established are you, what kind of ties have you developed to Canada, right? All of those questions. Because true as it is that IRCC cannot just remove Canadian permanent residents. They have to have very, very strong grounds. They have to have very strong beliefs. And then, more than strong beliefs or getting approved and whatnot, once a person is approved, the person is protected under the Canadian Charter, right? So, unless the person has been proven guilty that his way of achieving the PR was fraudulent, and then also humanitarian conditions, degree of establishment, and human rights and whatnot, like everything comes into play. Like, it's not a piece of cake that, okay, one day IRCC gives a PR and second day they take it. No, it's not that easy. Whatever they have to do, they should be checking everything before they give the PR. Once the PR is approved, then it becomes a paramount of a task for IRCC to remove a certain individual. But as history holds it, they have done it to a lot of people, and they have done it to Canadian citizens as well. So don't be under the presumption that once your PR is approved, the story is ended. No, don't be under the presumption that once you become a citizen, the story is now over. No, IRCC at any time can challenge your past historical applications, and that will be a trickle effect. So assuming, say for example, one day you become a student, worker, PR, and citizen. Say you lied something on the student application. So If you had lied, this would be cancelled. Ultimately, you would never have become a worker, you would never have become a permanent resident, and then you would never have become a citizen, right? So it goes on a trickle effect. Once this is misrepresented or fraudulent, everything following will have a trickle effect and everything can be cancelled. Okay, so this is the whole crux of the situation. Now let me bring over to what really happened in these cases, guys. With these guys, what happened was they had used, one of them had used fake payroll here in Canada. And the other one, the more serious case, was when the person had reached out to his employer in India, and the employer had actually, this person had asked the employer that would you extend, the opportunity to basically extend the employment beyond a certain period of time. So he was working for X years and the with the employer and the person, and he asked the employers to extend it to X plus 5 or maybe X plus 2, and that happened, and IRCC found out. um, so with the investigation, this person also got to know that IRCC officers, along with a translator, okay, please note, along with a translator, visited his employer in Ontario and asked for CCTV records of the employee working at the location. So they are going to that extent. Like they said, okay, prove us, prove it to us that, okay, this person, Mr. ABC, was working at your, location. Give us CCTV records. Now the employer obviously said that, we don't keep CCTV records beyond 90 days. So then they said, okay, on the spot, call your accountant, call your CPA, show us PD7 records, show us checks or the bank transfers that you made in order to pay this employee. And fortunately his Canadian employment was genuine, the employer was able to justify everything. But I am assuming, or the person is also assuming, that the employer did this, the IRCC officer did the same thing to their employer in India. And apparently, the employer would not have been able to do that. However, the employer in India says that he never received any communication from IRCC, nobody reached out, but somebody did this, right? So it got trickled, it got trickled. What I suspect here is a foul play as well. It could be a poison pen letter where somebody could have written for this person to, on his back. So, like I said, IRCC has been visiting employers and trying to identify what went wrong. The more interesting part, or the most horrible part here, is that the person got a PR last year mid. Okay, and so 2023 mid he got his PR, and today almost 1 year is over. Now he is being investigated. Okay, so I don't know what's happening with IRCC. They're suddenly, waking up, or maybe they have an issue with their, integrity unit. But there can only be two possibilities. One, the artificial intelligence, when deployed on previous programs or previous applications for maybe testing or anything like that, could be picking up potential cases. That could be one. Second, could be a random temporary, random check out of a sample set. Or third, somebody actually dropped a poison pen letter on this person's profile. Maybe he blabbered out something after having drinks or a couple of that, and then somebody wrote back to the employer, to the IRCC, right? So one of these situations. But IRCC is going to the extent of even demanding deposited checks, PD7s, Form 16s in India, then payment summaries, payment information, anything like that. And we have had a case in the past as well where IRCC officer presented himself at an Indian warehouse location and demanded whether this person was working. Very recently we had a case in Windsor, Ontario, where two Ontario officers presented themselves along with a translator at one of the employers, and had a photograph in the in their hand, and said, okay, is this person working at your location, is this person doing this, is this person doing that? Apparently that information was also false, and the person got called out for misrepresentation. Guys, um please be aware whenever you go for fake payrolls and all of that. One, that is illegal, and that is not allowed, that should not be done. I know getting PR can be challenging at times, but you guys need to maintain the integrity of the system, because you never know when a bad day might strike, right? And secondly, your journey of becoming a permanent resident or Canadian citizen does not foolproof the whole situation, as IRCC can any day go back to your original application and call that bluff, and then raise the trickle effect of, or the domino effect of, your temporary residence getting cancelled, the PR getting misrepresented and called back, and then the citizenship can also be called back. Guys, please be safe in whatever facts and figures that you present in your case. I hope you guys are not engaging into anything that is unethical, but whatever has to be done with utmost caution, and always bear in mind that you have to be safe, guys. I hope you got some useful insights into what's happening in the world of Canadian education and immigration. If you have anything to discuss with us, please feel free to schedule a consultation with us. Our numbers are on the screen. We would be happy to speak with you in a one on one session. Once again, I wish you all the best, and I really hope to see you soon in Canada. All the best.